Hey everybody, this is Levi Fisher. I'm the lead instructional librarian on the FRCC Westminster campus, and today I'm going to take you through the basics of how to search opposing viewpoints. You can technically start searching by using the search bar here, using keywords, but I prefer doing something a little different. You can click Browse Issues here, but I'm going to scroll down for us quickly to show you what this looks like. I really like opposing viewpoints because it's something of a one-stop shop for argumentative essays and also research papers that deal with broad societal topics. As you can see, the topics are organized by these broad umbrella categories and then broken down into more specific issues. Each one shows 3 topics by default, but you can see that each header lists how many topics are actually included in that category. It also shows you which topics have recently been updated. In the blue box near the bottom, you can see there's a link to browse all 487 issues, and that's what we'll click. This will bring you to a page that lists out all the main issues that this database covers. These are all organized alphabetically. If I scroll down, you can see that there's a large amount of issues that this database covers. It's why it's such a great resource if you don't really know what you want to write about. These links all have guaranteed sources of information under them. These issues range from things like e-waste to prisons, the alt-right to sin taxes. For our example, I'm going to click on government spending since that's been recently updated. This will now take us to the full page that has all the information the database has on this topic. Unlike EBSCO's interface, this one is formatted a little more like a web page. It starts us off with an overview essay, which I'll talk about in a moment, but I want to scroll down quickly to show you that there's far more than just the introductory essay at the top on this page. Okay, scrolling back up, I'm going to start us off at this overview essay because it's essentially a Wikipedia-style article without having to use Wikipedia. It's a fantastic place to get the basic rundown on this topic. As you can see, this essay is written in very straightforward language and gives you the definition of the topic as well as some basic information about it. It then goes over some main ideas you may want to focus on in your research. Following this, it continues the basic rundown of the topic, and eventually if you continue to scroll down here, it will show you some critical thinking questions, as well as what some of the current conflicts on this topic might be, if any. Usually there are some, because this database is focused primarily on topics that have multiple perspectives, stakeholders, and viewpoints. At the end of the overview essay, there is a citation already generated for you in MLA format by default. There's also APA and Chicago, and you can just click on these linked headers to see those. You can also export your citation to any citation software like Noodle Tools, EasyBib, or RefWorks, or export to your Google Drive. Scrolling back up, I'll show you some of the options here at the top of the page. You have the citation option again redundantly, and next to that you have the send option. This is where you can send this article somewhere, like your G Drive, OneDrive, or email the article to yourself. You can select to send it as a PDF attachment or just the citation alone if you just need that. Back on the article page, you have more options. You can download this article, print it, or get the permalink, the permanent link that will get you or your instructor back into this article. There's also a handy highlight and note functionality, which I personally love. It lets you highlight and track any part of any article you're reading on this database. All you have to do is select any text you like by clicking and dragging. It will then automatically give you the highlight options that pop up, so you can select your highlight colors and add a note. You can easily delete your highlight too by clicking on the trash can button when your highlight options appear. I love this because if you find something you want to use or make note of or quote in your paper later, it really keeps you organized to be able to do that. You can add a note for yourself for any reason, such as a reminder to cite something, a good quote, or maybe even just marking an interesting point. There's also a number of color options, which is also great for staying organized. Maybe you make all quotes orange or all important information blue. It's all up to you. Okay, I'm going to delete these highlights and notes and scroll up a bit to show you a few more options quickly. You can translate this article into a different language, change the font size, or even get pretty specific with selecting different display fonts, line spacing, character spacing, or color backgrounds. I like these options in particular because if you're dyslexic or have other particular accessibility needs when it comes to how these articles appear for you, it's nice having these options to be able to adjust different elements. It's just a nice feature. You can see I am clicking through these options, but I wanted to show you what the line spacing and letter spacing looks like too. You can really adjust the visual appearance and make it your own, which can definitely make researching using this database a more comfortable experience. In addition to the font options, you can also listen to this article by clicking on the Listen button. You can also send this article to your Google Drive, OneDrive, email it to yourself from here, download it to your physical media, or print it. Same as the icons at the top of the page. Okay, let's go back to the previous page so I can show you more of what you have here in terms of information. If we scroll down this page from the overview essay, you can search within these results if you don't find any immediate information to do with your topic. But here you can see there's viewpoint essays and featured viewpoint essays that describe the different reporting views or narratives that surround this topic. Each one of these has 3 articles listed up front, but under this link there are 267 more essays with 16 more for the featured viewpoints. It also tells you what content level each article is for. This is primarily for K through 12 students and ties in with a Lexile grade level. You don't really need to use this or pay attention to it generally. It's mainly to inform educators or parents if they're evaluating how advanced an article is content-wise. Underneath each article title, you can see the date of publication, how many words there are, and what type of article it is. Scrolling down, there's reference articles if you need to define something for your paper, and infographics, which is data that's been given a visual format like a chart or a graph. Scrolling down, you can see the chart itself. This shows you views about the level of wasteful spending in federal agencies from February of this year. These charts are great because they give you a data point for your research in a simple graphic format. There's a second graph below this one, and if you mouse over the bar percentages, you can see additional information about each. Lastly, if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you can see the citation in MLA, APA, or Chicago format, so you can cite this infographic correctly. Okay, let's go back to the main page on this topic again. Scrolling down, you can see we have statistics, which is another source for data points for your research, and there's 34 of those and 3 primary sources. Let's keep scrolling. There's 141 images and 86 videos. These are non-monetized and ad-free. Past these, you have 1,988 audio files, over 16,000 news articles, and more than 2,000 magazine articles. There's also 6 outside websites listed and 220 academic journal articles that are peer-reviewed. All the way at the bottom, there are more topics listed that are related to this one for you to check out as well. Congressional ethics, corporate corruption, inflation, and more. There's a lot to branch off into here, and each one has the exact same sort of page filled with sources that this issue does. Well, that's it for now. We've covered all the basics when it comes to opposing viewpoints. I will probably make some follow-up videos covering smaller features, but for right now, you can now easily find topics, navigate the sources here, and get some really good information. As always, if you ever need additional assistance searching for information, you can reach out to any of your campus librarians anytime. My email is levi.fisher@frontrange.edu. Thanks for watching.